The creation of matter in pairs is one of the most important discoveries of physics. Paul Dirac, a British scientist, was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1933 for his discovery in this field. The discovery of Dirac is known as parity, and thanks to this discovery, it has been presented that the matter has a pair called antimatter. Antimatter bears the opposite characteristics of matter. For example, contrary to matter, antimatter electrons are positive and protons are negative. This fact is expressed in a scientific source as follows. Every particle has its antiparticle of opposite charge. The uncertainty relation tells us that the existence and non-existence of pairs forms simultaneously everywhere and at all times. As we see, the expression of the Quran, "We created other things of which they have no knowledge," is so full of wisdom and so mysterious. As Badiüzzaman Saeed Nursi said, "As time grows older, the Quran grows younger." That is, as science develops with the progress of time, many mysteries.
It mentioned the three pairs. First one is the pair from the soil. Second pair is about the couple from human being. Third opposite pair mentioned as something beyond our knowledge. So the commentator is saying, at that time, it was impossible to know about the proton and neutron, matter and antimatter. Those things were not clear at the time. Now it has been clear that all the things have things, matter, antimatter, right? So this is a natural phenomenon. Whatever Allah created, this has the connotation of opposite pair or partner. And first opposite pair in terms of human being, who was it? Jaharanur? First human being as a partner was
Prophet Adam alayhi salam and Hawa.
Adam and Hawa. MashaAllah. Adam and Hawa. These are the two pairs. Now, the question is, when do you know that sometimes people are, so one is the man, the other is the woman, male and female. These are the two clearly mentioned in all the creations of Allah. That's what Allah is saying, that it is the nature, the fitra Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. It has two opposite pair. Now we have a new concept since Obama came to president of USA. Now they have different definitions of pair. Can be paired with another male. A female can be paired with another female. So this is the new definition of couple in this century. It started and it is officially recognized in this country. And as you know, whatever we do in this country, the other countries, including Australia, they're going to follow it. They're following it straight away. We don't need to do anything. Simply we pass the thing here and rest of the world is following us. So you know what I'm going to talk about. It is the gender definition in Islam and in current context. So you know who is symbolized as the rainbow color, right? Abida, who symbol is the rainbow color?
Is it like the LGBTQ?
LGBT, I say QRST, UBWXYZ. So they have the color of rainbow. But ignorantly, they don't know the meaning of rainbow. Rainbow is something, it has the 7 color. If you mix any 2 color, the third color will evolve from there. But now they are mixing a male with a female. That means a black with a black. a red with a red, the third color will never emerge. Also, they took this rainbow as their symbol. Now, what we know about these things? I know you have all the evidences from Quran and Sunnah, and you have learned a lot from the lecture about these LGBT issues in Islam. So I'm not going to tell you the story of Lut, what happened at that time. I say this has the two clear phenomenon in Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with two elements. I always say this. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. The same way in our body, Allah created with two hormones. One is the male, the other is the female. And you know, this is natural, quite natural. And in some cases, you know, both of these hormone works together, and eventually it come to differentiate after couple of, for example, when you are teenager or later or before. So it goes to differentiate and gives us the position of either male or female. So this is a natural phenomenon. So remember one thing, we have no control over these two things. We have no control over these things. And remember, your health and your wealth belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From our definition, that is what we know. That's why when you pray, we say, Rabbana zalamna anfusana. You can zulum yourself in your nafs as well. So what is the definition? What is the precaution? That you are not allowed to change the way Allah shaped you. Okay. Improvement, nourishment is okay. So now, because of this hormonal activity, I can go and ask the doctor, a man can go, a boy can go, that I want to be a girl. So you can say, okay, now the law that has been passed, Australia as well as this country, you are not allowed to say anything to your kids. So I'm saying the things that I showed you, this is against the nature. This is against the nature on which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. You saw somebody got the Nobel Prize for matter and antimatter. Everything is entered. So this is natural phenomenon. So you cannot force to do something that is not natural. We say that is unnatural, and unnatural has some consequences. And that's what we see in our society now. So what would be your opinion, your option for these kind of things? Now, in LGBTQRST, I'm talking about the two only, a gay and lesbian, LGBT, lesbian and gay. But there are some other gender as well that was been in the body by born. So we have no control over it, and we are not. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I'm talking about except the LG. Except LG, the other things by born, they have this kind of problem. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did this kind of things? Again, this is to test those who have been blessed with either male or female. So this is a kind of test for us. How do we behave with them other than LG? So those things has been done, and we say this is a test for us. And if there is a feeling of a man to be a female, a tendency to be a male, this is not unnatural as well, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with the two hormones as well. But we are not allowed to change this by ourselves. Number one. Number two, if it goes beyond our control, then we say this is medically treatable. This is a disease that need to be treated. We should not encourage someone wants to change their body or someone change their gender. So this issue, as I said, this is very common. Why am I discussing with you? You need to aware of these things, that nowadays, even in the middle school or even the elementary school in this country and as well as your country, they are teaching about those things. They are encouraging it. If somebody has that kind of feelings, the mom and dad and friends are not allowed to talk anything about that. So we are saying, if goes beyond your control, that is a kind of disease that is treatable. So go and talk to the doctor and do not go against the nature for the first two groups. So what is enter nature or unnatural, we say, which has serious consequences, not only hereafter, but also in this dunya. So you see the consequences. Consequences in the sense, how can you define your existence when you are allowing a man to be a husband, a man to be wife? The same way a girl can be wife and girl can be husband. So how can you define your existence on earth? How did you come? Did you come from male and male or female and female? No. The natural phenomenon is the opposite partners. That is what. So those who are trying to propagate these things, they are doing certain thing against their existence. Their existence they cannot define if they define the partner to the same sex. So by nature, we are partner to our opposite gender. So it cannot be changed, and if you change it, you are destroying the whole humanity at large. Whole humanity at large. In some cases, you see this is the consequences in this dunya. You see the some kind of disease and kind of the declination of the growth rate on all these things. These are the consequences of because of these things. And we need to be aware of ourselves, and we need to educate the other people around us. So the most important things that if you have this kind of issues, you need to talk to your parents. You need to talk to them. Don't need to feel shy what is going on over there. And our stand is very clear that it is a great sin in Islam. It is highly punishable, and you know the story of Lut. I'm not going to mention that. And there are several verses in Quran. It says, because it is not natural, it is anti-natural. So if you do something anti-natural, you are destroying the nature. They are talking about the climate change. They're talking about the other stuff. They are not talking about this. Rather, they are encouraging it, which is frustrating. When they're talking about the climate change, they are not paying attention to this kind of things. So may Allah protect us. And if you have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, I'm done. So this is very clear. As I said, if something happened to someone, it is treatable the way we treat our young guys. If they have any disease, this is a kind of disease, we can treat it. So and Eurostat need to be very clear about this. And this is coming all over the place. It is forced in this country, especially in even elementary to middle school. They should learn, they should respect it. So we don't respect it. In our stand, we don't hate the person, but we don't respect their act. We don't hate the person. We hate or disrespect their acts. This is what our stand is. Okay, so